Hello and welcome to the Trade Ideas live trading room recap for Thursday, August the 6th. My name is Barry Anderson. I'm the moderator of the room. This is the address to get into the room, and you can log in with your Facebook or your Twitter account. Well, it was a great day in the room, at least for me, and I know for a lot of people, because there was just a lot of activity. Actually, it was really quite astonishing. Now, here's the first trade I took. And now, unfortunately, I've got a bit of a problem in my connection, my trade ideas connection. I've got so the bottom line is I won't be able to bring in any other charts, and I don't want to do a reboot because I'm going to lose all the annotation that I've already done in these charts, and I don't want to do it again. So but you'll have to trust me on this one. On Coors, Michael Coors, it had been really sinking quite a lot. Here's where it closed yesterday. We saw this in the pre-market. It was an earnings play, and decided to take the trade right here. Kind of jumped the gun on it. I wanted to, it was looking like it was going to break through 43. I jumped the gun a little bit, took it at 42.99. Let's see if hopefully this is going to work. Okay. Sold some here at 43.36. Again, this can be a real wild one to trade. And sold the balance here at 44.06. So let's see now. So from 42.99 to 44.06, of course, that's over $1, which I'm always trying to shoot for in these trades. It's more of a psychological thing. Now, this line is here, and I didn't annotate it. I actually tried to get into this again. I actually took the trade, I think it was at 44.24. It did pop up a little bit, but I just wasn't quick enough to sell right there. And as this came right back down, I think I sold just for pennies here. So that was the end of that trade. But a great trade because, we watched it in the pre-market. We knew it probably was going to be a hot one. And, with the market being down so big today, it was great to find one that just basically, it was a contrary trader. I mean, that was one of the reasons why I decided to get into anyway. I mean, when you see the market tanking, you see another stock just trading on its own. Those are what you really want, and you see a lot of those, especially with when you have a lot of earnings plays. You see a lot of stocks that are just going to trade on their own. They're the alpha stocks. Those are the ones we look for. Anybody who says in the summer, there's nothing to trade, it's really dry. It's just not true. I mean, I have no idea what the SPY volume is. I don't really care. All I know is that we can find the stocks to trade, and certainly with trade ideas you can do it. The next one is, and this was a absolutely tremendous one, and I hope, yeah, okay, so it kept the annotation here. HLF, another earnings play. Look at this. Again, it was running completely and utterly contrary to the market. So here's where it closed yesterday, 49.32, and it was up to 53.34 when the market opened, and it just kept accelerating up and up and up. And I ended up taking the trade. You see on this little pullback here, little bit of consolidation, and in this candle here, I decided to take the trade. This was a tough one. I know a couple in the room, I think they shied away from a little bit because it was difficult to know where you're going to put your stop. But again, in cases like that, I usually take a few less shares than normal. But again, because it was trading contrary to what the rest of the market was doing, I just decided I had to take this trade. Got in here at 56.74. I sold a little bit as protection at 57.18 in case it just was going to collapse again. Again, this one can really have some wild swings, But look what happened. I sold some at 58.76 and the balance at 58.91. That's over $2. 56.74. 58.76 is a little over $2, and that's a little over $2. So this, and without any hesitation, these are 5-minute candles. So it was just a really, really tremendous trade. Now, the one thing I did notice, and I'm doggone it, I don't think I'm going to be able to bring it because this is actually, okay, I'm just going to put you on, I'm going to put this on pause for 1 second. Well, actually, now where is the, oh, this is hilarious. Usually I have a little bar down here that, there we go. Okay, I'm just going to put this on pause for 1 sec. Yeah, well, what I wanted to show you was the 30-minute chart on this because this was a classic red bar ignored. You know what I'm going to do? Just I'm going to put it in pause again, and maybe I can bring in my other charting program. I just want to see if I can do that. Okay, just 1 sec. Okay, so here is another charting program that I have, just my broker's charts. But you can see this is a 30-minute chart, and this is what I saw. This is a classic red bar ignore. And, we had an uptrend in the pre-market. Certainly this was going to be a strong stock. It was going contrary to the SPY. And here's the green bar, here's the red bar, and here's the green bar. And you can see right there is where I took the trade, actually just down here, 56.74. So if you're wondering again what this concept is all about, here is the green bar, red bar, green bar. You've kind of basically you're saying, okay, ignore the red bar, especially when you get this tail here. You see, what this means is that okay, the sellers tried to take over, they were driving it down to there, and then this buyers took over again, drove it back up. And this is actually, this is probably the most ideal situation where you get a very narrow bar right here, narrow candle, narrow body anyway. You get this nice tail because that just gives you the confidence that if the next bar is green, to go in and take the trade. And you could take again, this is I think 50, around 56, 74 right there. You could put your stop, and it's a wide stop, and that's what I said. This is a kind of a wild one, but you could put your stop sort of at the bottom of the body of this candle. I would never put it all the way down there, never, never, never. But you could put it at the bottom here, and it obviously it turned into a fabulous trade. But that's classically, especially on the higher time frames, when you see these red bar or green bar ignored on the higher time frames, as has been explained, sort of almost it's getting drummed into us that the higher the time frame, the better off, the better the pattern is. I shouldn't say that. The higher the time frame, the more likely it is that if you take the trade, it'll succeed. So you may not get as many on a 30-minute time frame, but when you get them, you should really concentrate and act on them. So that was HLF. The last one, or second to last one, is GMCR. Again, now this one was a classic we've been looking at. And let me okay, so again, this is a little out of whack. I guess I can just move this just a little bit. Now, why did we do GMCR? And I don't know what's going to happen if I try to move back. I may lose. Okay, well, here's yesterday's close, okay? Obviously, it just got annihilated, and that's why we were watching it overnight. Of course, it was on, in the pre-market. We were watching this, and this was on, down the most in the pre-market. And let's see, where is it here right now? GMCR. Oh, I guess it's well, it's popped up enough, I guess, that it's not. It's not. Well, just 1 second. Yeah, sorry about that. I mean, I want to be able to bring back, but because I've just to prove it to you. See, this is what's happening. I've got and all I probably have to do is just reboot Trade Ideas Pro, but I would have lost all my charting, so I didn't want to do that. So decided just to sort of soldier on. But with GMCR, obviously this was a beaten up, was down I think $22 at one point. So, at this action here, we were kind of watching for it to break 54. And, it had a little poke here, came back down, another little poke here, came back down. And then I finally decided to take the trade right here at 54.14. Sold some here at 54.54. Again, it was still acting wild. I mean, this, it hadn't really settled down. And then I sold the balance right here at 55.22. So another over $1 trade. And the last one is for me kind of an interesting one, and I have to thank my good buddy Matt in the trading room. I asked for, I'm still in this trade here. PBS is an ETF that tracks media stocks. Now, again, unfortunately, if you've been following the media stocks like Time Warner, all these other stocks, you'll know they've just been absolutely crushed over the last few days. And this is an ETF that tracks them. And you can look at this. I mean, you can see how this one has been it's spotty. It doesn't trade that much. But I decided to take a look at this right around here as some of the other media stocks were starting to get back. I decided, and that's why I asked somebody in the room, anybody, I asked, anybody know what an ETF for the media stocks are? And let's say Matt came up with PBS, and it doesn't trade very much. I mean, I think it's only It's probably still under 300,000 shares. But what was nice is that it was going to be a fairly tight stop. There's 25.22. I got in at right here at 25.39, or actually it was right here is where I got in, right in that level. And as it was just sort of basing here in a little pop, but I was also watching the other media stocks, of course, because it's the ETF that tracks them. And I'd love to be able to put GTN here because that was a fantastic call by Real in the room. GTF, I think GTN, I think went from about $12 to $14. And I was stuck with this one that just kind of plodded along. But nonetheless, I will watch this because if the media stocks have a second day of recovery, this would be a nice one to play if you like ETFs and you want to sort of take advantage of maybe a bit of a bounce in some of these media stocks, especially the TV stocks. And they're getting beaten up. I think ESPN had some numbers out, and the whole look. Obviously, this is no big revelation, but I mean. Um, Kids today, they're just not watching TV like we used to, okay? And so, the viewership is just going down. When the viewership goes down, the advertisers, they don't like that. Uh, to be honest, I don't even know how the advertisers how they track it anymore because I mean, let's face it, most people will tape shows and they'll just skip through the ads. So I really don't know how it's working, but anyway, the viewerships are down. So if you take a look at all like AMCX, you take I'm saying CBS, the cable companies, Time Warner, all those, especially the cable companies, because even the networks themselves, they may be able to spin off and do stuff on YouTube, I guess. But cable, their subscriber base is just dropping. Um, so anyway, I would watch PBS. And there was one other one that I thought, oh, Fit. Again, I can't put this up. Fit came out with earnings today, and this is a recent IPO, I guess, about 3 months ago. And so this was their first earnings report. And the funny thing is that the earnings report was excellent. They beat the estimate that the street had, and they also had good guidance for the next quarter. But it doesn't. Today it didn't matter. I guess everybody wanted to bail on Fit, and I didn't get into it. I didn't trade it at all. But this is one that I absolutely will watch because it's gone up quite a bit over the last 3 months, of course. So I don't know. Maybe people just looked at this as an excuse to get out. But I mean, if you can base it on guidance and earnings, I mean, it looks like it still has a rosy quarter ahead of it. So I would keep watching Fit. So that's it. Now I'm going to do a reboot to see if that fixes my problem. But let's see. I think that is it. Okay, I want to bring back the cover page again. Here is how to get into our room. You can log in with your Facebook, your Twitter account, and I hope to see you in the trading room tomorrow.